Emerging economies, we are witnessing significant development in the emerging economies. And what are they? What are the various growth momentum? Inflation in the emerging market and the central bank action. Insight on emerging economies, capital market, currency market, bond market are all vital. If you look at the economic momentum as per the IMF, which was released in January, 2021 should produce emerging market as a whole 6.3%. BRICS economies, Brazil 3.6, Russia 3.1, between 3 to 3.1. India should move from the low score, negative, to 11.5% up, and China should do 8.1%. South Africa should do 2.8%. Of course, it will be moderated next year, but this year, because of the basic negative growth in 2020, it should have a positive reflection in all the emerging markets, and China and India will be shining stars, and the rest of the countries around 3%. Inflation in China, the consumer price index fell 0.2% February from a year earlier. China pegs consumer inflation at 3%. India CPI inflation 5%. India monetary policy meeting in April 2021. Brazil producer price inflation jumped to 28%. The central bank this month raised interest rate by 75 basis points, the first increase in 6 years and the biggest in over a decade. The Bank Monetary Policy Committee suggested, as much as saying it would boost rates by same amount in the next meeting as well. Russia Board of Directors decided to increase the key rate by 25 basis points to 4.5%. Annual inflation in South Africa is to 2.9%. So plenty of action. India will be 5%. Russia will be 4.5%. And you have Brazil inflation jump to 29%, and China will be 0.2%. China pegged the inflation to 3% now. So all these are changes. When it comes to capital market, everyone has shown signs of improvement. India 5.1% up, China 3%, Russia 5.7%. Brazil is in contraction in the capital market, that is minus 1.82. South Africa 9.9%. So most of the markets are up except Brazil, though markets have surged since last year. COVID-19 recovery, significant volatility noticed on account of surge in bond yields. Now, when it comes to currencies, as far as Indian rupee is concerned, it's flat, 73.11 US dollar this year. And when it comes to Brazilian real, 1 real is equal to 5.77, weakened by more than 10%. Russian rubles, it is 75.86, weakened by 2% again. When it comes to yuan, 6.75 yuan, 6.57 I should have said, 57 yuan is equal to 1 US dollar, weakened by more than 0.4%. And when it comes to rand, South African rand, it is 14.81, weakened by more than 0.8%. So most of the currencies are weakened, and dollar is strengthening. That's a reflection we are seeing. When it comes to bond market, so far how much has been issued? India has issued 30 billion, last year also the same amount. China has issued 625 billion, that is last year 587 billion, it's up. South Africa issued 1.24 billion, last year 1.8 billion. Brazil 4.12 billion, last year 2 billion. Russian bonds so far not visible in terms of issuance. Local bond fell mostly in 3 weeks on speculation US could target the nation's sovereign debt with a tougher round of sanctions over the poisoning and jailing of the opposition leader Alexei Navalny. So political contentions apart, we have to look at what sort of economic momentum in the bond market comes in the coming days. So emerging markets are coming together in many forms. They have a macroeconomic similarity. They are all in the incremental growth momentum, except Brazil, which is unfortunately going through high inflation, lower economic momentum, and again the capital market or bond markets are all not fully engaged to the potentials. Let's see how the turn of events in the coming days with US economic expansion plans and rest of the world, European Central Bank, Bank of England, and similarly Bank of Japan, the big club, the G7, G8 clubs, how they are responding to a synchronized monetary policy and fiscal framework. With regard to Gulf states, they are all in track in terms of fiscal surplus. The average oil price is now around $62 per barrel, as against different budget estimates. $40 for Qatar, and Saudi Arabia is said to be $48, $45 is Kuwait. So everyone has taken their perspective. Now oil price is given as a bit of a cautious optimism, and with economic expansion, even in spite of the fact that the OPEC has taken a decision to increase the output marginally, oil price is going up. So it's important to see what sort of financial market volatility comes in the coming days.